In today's video, we'll be discussing about properties of integer operations. It's very important that you learn all these concepts because it's the basics used in algebra. There are 5 properties as shown here, and in this video, we'll be discussing about the first 4 of them. The last one, which is the distributive property, will be discussed in detail in a separate video. The link is given in the description box below. So let's move on to identity and inverse of numbers. The word identity literally means sameness or oneness. To explain this property, we have 2 identities, the additive identity and the multiplicative identity. First, let's see the additive identity. Let's say a is an integer. Now when a is added to some special number, the value should still remain the same. Hence we can conclude that 0 is the additive identity. And this additive identity holds good for subtraction as well. Next we move on to multiplicative identity. Again, when a is considered to be an integer, the product of a and a special number should result in the same integer a, and this special number is 1, which is the multiplicative identity. And the multiplicative identity holds good for division as well. Always remember, additive identity is 0 and multiplicative identity is 1. Moving on to additive inverse. When a is an integer, the sum of a with a special number should result in 0, which is the additive identity. This special number is minus a, which is the additive inverse of a. Let's check some examples. So the additive inverse of 10 is minus 10 and the additive inverse of minus 6 is 6. Moving on to multiplicative inverse. If a is an integer, the product of a with a special number should give us 1, which is the multiplicative identity. And this special number is 1 by a. So the multiplicative inverse of a is 1 by a. You can also call it as the reciprocal. Here are some examples. The multiplicative inverse of 8 is 1 by 8. And the multiplicative inverse of minus 4 is minus 1 by 4. Let's move on to closure property. If a and b are integers, the value of a plus b is also an integer. A minus b is an integer as well. A into b is again an integer. But a divided by b is not always an integer. Let's check out some examples. 5 and 8 are integers. So 5 plus 8, which is 13, is an integer. 5 minus 8, which is minus 3, is an integer. 5 into 8, which is 40, is also an integer. But 5 divided by 8 gives us a decimal, which is 0.625, and it is not an integer. Thus you can conclude that closure property doesn't hold good only for division. Moving on to commutative property. If a and b are integers, a plus b is always equal to b plus a. Subtraction. A minus b is not equal to b minus a. Multiplication. A into b is always equal to b into a. And division. A divided by b is not equal to b divided by a. So the commutative property holds good only for addition and multiplication. Let's check out some examples. 5 plus 9 is 13. 9 plus 5 is also 13. 5 minus 9 is minus 4. But 9 minus 5 is plus 4. 5 into 9 is 45 and 9 into 5 is also 45. But 5 divided by 9 is 0.56 and 9 divided by 5 is 1.8. Now let's move on to associative property. Let's say there are three integers a, b and c. The sum of these three integers can be done two ways. First method, we add b plus c, and to the result we add a. Method 2, a plus b is computed first and the result is summed up with c. Both these methods give us the same correct answers. But the same method cannot be followed for subtraction. We'll see why with some examples. First, let's find the sum of 9, 4 and 6. So method 1, we add 4 and 6 to get 10 and then add 9 to this result to get the final answer of 19. Method 2, we add up 9 and 4 together to get 13 and then add 6 to it to get 19 again. So in this case, both give us the correct answer of 19. Moving on to subtraction. Let's compute 9 minus 4 minus 6. First method, let's do 4 minus 6 first. That gives us minus 2. Then we compute 9 minus 2. That becomes 9 plus 2, which is 11. Method 2, 9 minus 4 is computed first to give us 5. Then we subtract 6 from 5 to give us minus 1. Here you get two different answers. So we can conclude that associative property doesn't hold good for subtraction. Moving on to multiplication and division. We can observe that associative property holds good for multiplication and not for division. Let's see how with some examples. Let's compute 2 into 4 into 3. So here we group 4 and 3 first. Computing 4 into 3 gives us 12 and then multiplying it with 2 gives us 24. Next method, we'll group 2 and 4 together and multiply it to get 8. Then we multiply 3 with it to give us the answer of 24 again. Moving on to division. Let us compute 12 divided by 4 divided by 2. So grouping 4 divided by 2, we get 2. Then we divide 12 by 2 to get 6. Method 2, we compute 12 divided by 4 first to get 3 and then we divide 2 to give us 1.5. Now you can see there are two different answers. So associative property doesn't hold good for division. I've given a table to understand all the properties in one shot. Hope this video has helped you understand the properties easily. For more videos, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.